Hi everyone, welcome along again to the second of my card demonstrations for my catalogue launch today. For those that don't know me, my name is Wendy Hodkinson and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in Inverell in the New England region of New South Wales. So thank you for joining me again. I'm just going to get myself up on my page so that I can see any comments and we'll go from there. So hopefully you've been able to join the lives that I've been able to do for my catalogue launch, which of course had to move online due to COVID lockdown restrictions for New South Wales. So, pardon me. So yesterday I did a catalogue walkthrough. I showed some of the products in closer detail and I did a card. Let me just show you that. So we made a cute little penguin. So, and today I've actually created one of our boxes with a gorgeous tag. Now I know it's back to front, that's just the way it all works on a live, but I'm going to focus on one of the Sale-a-bration stamp sets this afternoon. So hopefully if you're joining me live, I'll be able to catch your comments and answer any questions you may have. If not, and you're watching the replay, still feel free to send me through a comment or ask a question and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. In the meantime, let's flip the camera down and get started on creating. Okay, I'll just tighten everything up again. I've had to I don't know if I've mentioned it or you've realised I've had to rebuild my setup completely again. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing this afternoon, that I haven't made it too close for you. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Apologies for having to do adjustments today. Okay, so as I said, these were the articles that I did yesterday. So hopefully they will be able to be seen. There we go, put a bit more light on the subject. That might hopefully help us see everything a little bit better. So those are the two that I did yesterday, and the envelope, the card and envelope do actually fit in these boxes. So they're in the July to December mini catalogue. That's what we focused on before. And this afternoon we're going to focus on the Sale-a-bration catalogue. Now, for those that are joining my launch today, just a reminder that the order for today's launch and yesterday's launch will be put in on Wednesday evening, so you'll need to have orders with payment to me by 5 p.m. So here's the website for you to be able to place your orders online, and using this host code, U for umbrella, V for Volvo, Q for Quokka, Y for yo-yo, N for neutron, Q for Quebec, J for James, and S for Steph. So that's the host code for this workshop. So if you'd like to place an order to help me be able to continue to do these videos and remain a demonstrator and be able to come to you with more classes, feel free to jump online and order from that website. So as I said, we're going to focus on the Sale-a-bration stamp set this afternoon. And this is a second Sale-a-bration for the year, which is something new that Stampin' Up! Hasn't done before. And it goes from the 3rd of August to the 30th of September. So the products in this catalogue cannot actually be purchased. They need to be earned. So what happens is if you spend $90, you can choose one of these items that has the $90 spend on it. Okay, so we did go through this the other day. There's gorgeous paper that coordinates with our penguins, some stamp sets, a black and white version of a paper which coordinates with a bundle in the annual catalogue, the peaceful prints which coordinates with a stamp bundle and punch bundle from the mini catalogue, And the one that I'm going to be focusing on today is the Counting Sheep stamp set and the sheep dies. Now, each of these products are available with a purchase of $90. And these dies are definitely while supplies last. So make sure that you jump on and get those as soon as you can into Sale-a-bration to ensure that you get them. The rest of the catalogue, we've got some textures, we've got a die set that coordinates with a stamp set from the annual catalogue. It's a $180 spend, as is the Delicate Dahlias stamp set. Just a quick jump over, there is a host stamp set, so if parties reach $500 in sales, or an individual order for that matter, then you'll automatically receive this stamp set for free. And if you'd love to join my Inky Digits team, I'd love to have you as a member. And one of the joining specials that we have available for August and September as part of Sale-a-bration is that you can choose an additional bundle that's listed on this page here. So your starter kit is $235 of your chosen product for only $169. And as I said, during Sale-a-bration, you can choose one of these bundles from the July to December 2020 mini catalogue for free. Okay, so let's get on to making a card. Now, I haven't made a sample. I'm basically going to be winging it using the Counting Sheep, and it comes with a set of dies. I've already cut out some of the items just to make our life a little bit easier, but I haven't actually put anything together, and I haven't completely decided what I'm doing for the card, so we'll wing it together. Okay, one thing that I did decide that I was going to do was I thought I would do a bit of sponging. So I'll get that organised in just a minute. I've just got a thick Whisper White card base today. So I've already pre-scored this. So I'm just going to fold that. So I pre-scored it just so that it will fold a little bit better. And then I've got a panel to do my sponging on. I'm just going to grab a scrap piece of grid paper just because I can. And I love using the smaller Stampin' Artist grid paper for something like this, because it means that I don't have to dirty a whole sheet just to do a little bit of sponging. So I'm just going to pop that up there and put my card base out of the way because I don't want to get ink on that. Now, as I said, I haven't got any hard and fast rules of what I'm going to do with this. I'm just going to wing it. But I am going to sponge some of my elements first. So I've actually got a little sun hiding in here. So I'm just going to use my blending brushes. So these are a great tool. They come as a set of 3. You can see mine are well loved and well used. So they come as a set of 3 for $21. And what I've done is I've just put a little sticker on them with the colour that I like to use them for. And I've just grouped them into colour groupings, really. I haven't sort of got an individual brush for every colour. I've sort of got purples and greens and blues and yellows and oranges. So I'm just going to just put a little bit of colour around my sun. Not that you can really see a lot of it at the minute because of the base that it's on, but that'll just give it a little bit more definition around the edges. So that's that one. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sponge. I cut out a few of these little fences and I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use. So I've got a crumb cake one, I've got a soft suede one, but I'm just going to get a bit of crumb cake and I'm going to sponge on this one, just so that you've got a little bit of definition around the wood grain part. I don't want to go too heavily. I just want to have a little bit of a darker colour around the edge, just so that you can sort of see a little bit of that grain that's on the fence. Okay, so that's that one. Now, I'm very high tech with how I store my brushes. I've basically got them just in a coffee cup. Okay, so that's how I store mine. It's up to the individual how they would like to store theirs. You know, it's purely a personal preference. Now, I've got some of these that are little clouds as well, so I'm just going to add a hint of blue on these, just because I don't want them to be completely white. So I'm just going to put a little bit of blue on the edge. The hardest part, of course, is trying not to get it all over your fingers, but you know, that's why my team is called the Inky Digits, because, you know, whenever we're crafting, we do end up with ink on us. It just seems to be the way we do it. So I'm just putting a little bit of colour, as I said, just around the edge of the clouds, just to take the complete stark whiteness off them, because they're going to go on a blue sky. Okay, so there's my little clouds. Okay, I've got my sheep. I don't know how many sheep I'm going to need, but I am also going to do a little bit of colouring with my sheep. I'm just going to close that ink pad up. I know I'll use it later, but sure as I don't do it, I will end up with colour absolutely everywhere that it shouldn't be. So I've just got one of my Stampin' blends here. I've just got the ivory, and I'm just going to colour in my little sheepy's face. So the Stampin' blends are actually an alcohol-based marker, and we sell them as a combination, except for the ivory and bronze, and you use them with a Memento black ink pad, which is this one here, and it's a dye ink, and it's designed to be used with the blends. I've actually just got the light crumb cake. As I said, we sell them in combinations. I'm just going to do the little hooves. I don't know that I necessarily want to do his legs. I'm just going to do their hooves for the minute. Just to give them a little bit more definition. So as you can tell, there's two different ends. There's a bullet end, and there's also a brush tip end. You do want to make sure that they are that the caps are on tightly to keep the alcohol in there, because obviously it's going to evaporate. So just bear that in mind. And it's always best to store any sort of a marker containing any fluid in a horizontal position rather than upright in a cup or jar or holder of any sort. So that way you'll get the most use out of those. Now, the other thing that I wasn't sure whether I'd do is I have got a white chalk marker that I can add a bit of colour onto my sheep if I need to at the end, but I'm just going to see how they go for the minute. They look pretty good. And I've got no idea whether I'm going to end up using this particular die cut, which is from the Stitch So Sweetly dies, because I just thought we might need something for a sentiment, but again, I'm not 100% sure what will happen. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the grid paper, and I'm going to just, there's always a right side and a wrong side, I find, personally. I'm just going to put that on there, and I like to work at a bit of an angle. So I'm going to do the blue sky, and you always want to start just off your card and just dab off any extra, because you can build up your colour and just go in a circular motion and just start off and then come onto your cardstock. It's been a little while since I've done any sponging, so it may not necessarily be the best today. Oh, look at that gorgeous thing. We'll stick a cloud over that. Okay. As I said, it's been a little while, and I just want to get some colour on there. But in saying that, the sky is not a uniform blue either. So don't be too perturbed that it's not perfect. Now turn it round the other way, just because I'm right-handed and that's the way I work. And I'm going to come in with the Pear Pizzazz with my green. Let me just do that. And you just want a light touch. You don't want to be too heavy-handed with it, because that's what happened up the top. I was trying to be too quick and too heavy-handed, and so I didn't get the effect that I wanted. So now I'm not going to make it terribly dark, because I want the sheep to show up, but I also don't want it to be completely blended. So I am going and overlapping the blue slightly, and then I'll come back in. Actually, there's a couple of patches there. I'll just try and do a little bit of green on them so it's a little bit more uniform. Okay, and then I'm going to come back in with the blue. Hopefully you guys can see well enough what I'm doing. It's really hard to know how close you actually need to go with the camera, so I'm just going to go with this for the minute. I'm just going to try and fill in these gaps where I've got some patches from the first time I did it. So I'm going to go over the top, and I am going to come down over the grass to try and blend the two colours together. Okay. It's not the best I've done, but it's not the worst either. So I'm just trying to fill in these patchy bits. The other option, of course, is instead of doing circles, you can do a brushing motion. That will help, you know, fill in any gaps and everything else. Just remember to carry it down over the green portion. Let's do a little bit of the green coming back up. Okay, that's going to do me. Let's get some of the extra ink off, put those away. Now I also wanted to just randomly stamp some grass, which there's grass in my stamp set. So I just thought I'd randomly stamp a little bit of grass just on the here, just so that you know that this is meant to be grass, basically. And that's pretty much it for the grass. Okay. So then I'm going to just work out where I want everything to go. So I've got my little fence and I'm thinking, oh, that's going to cover up that grass. I might have to do another bit of grass. We'll just see. There we go. If I do that, I really like this particular sheep here, and I like the idea of them dancing on the fence. But I need to put in a couple of clouds and a sun. So I'm going to put my sun up in the corner, I think, and we'll put a couple of clouds over here. Now I am going to put them off the edge and trim them because I don't actually want them the full distance or the full width. Let's put one down here. We might put one more up the top there. I don't think my panel is going to work because I think it's going to be too big. So maybe I might put my "So Glad It's Your Birthday" there. I'm just going to see if I've got a little scrap of white. I've probably used it all. Never mind. I'll just be brave and stamp straight on, because I can always put like my little sheepy here. I can put that one jumping off the other side. Or actually, he can probably go across there like that. Yeah, let's do something like that. Right, so first up, let's stamp the words, the greeting, so that I know where everything else is going to fit. So I just stamp that. I always like to do a test stamp just to make sure that it's going to be straight. And I always like to stand up to stamp so I have an idea of where it's going. And then cross your fingers, hold your breath, count to 10. Make sure that the ink is absorbed onto your cardstock, particularly when you're going over some sponging, because otherwise you're not going to get a good image, and it's really hard to line it up in the Stamparatus once you've already stamped it. Okay, so that's that. Let's have a little bit of a play. Let's put these ones away. I know I'm not going to use that. I don't need my other clouds, so let's get them out of the way. And let's try and just put this one together. So I'm just going to use a bit of Tombow this time. And I'm not going to move anything off there now while it's together, because otherwise I know what's going to happen. I'm going to end up with things not where they should be. So let's, and actually I think I'll use the other bottle of Tombow because I know that one's a little bit on its last legs. So I'll just open a new one to make sure that we have enough for the project. The other thing that I noticed someone else do the other day, which I thought was such a good idea, was they actually did just a little spot of glue just to get the glue started, because so often you'll do it and it ends up, you know, making a big mess everywhere because it's it comes out in a hurry. And that's not something that you want to do when you're using your Tombow glue. Okay, so let's just flip that up there because I don't want to get glue all over my arm. So I'm going to put that there, and hopefully it's reasonably straight. We'll cut these off once we've glued them. Just put a little bit of glue on there. And I'm sorry if I'm out of shot doing that. It's just really, really hard to... I wonder if I put the cloud upside down. Like that. No, that just looks silly. Let's just put that there, like that. We need to do our sun, but I'm going to put the sun up on a dimensional. So I always put marks on the back of my dimensionals just so that you can actually see when you've taken the backing off. It makes it so much easier to know that the backing's come off. I'll put my sun up here. Got one more lot of clouds. Okay. Let's just put that down there. Okay, and I'm going to put my fence on. Now I'm going to put my fence on with glue dots. They're not that much taller, but they do make a little bit of a difference just in the height. I just find that they're great just to add a tiny little bit of height, and of course we're not wanting this to go anywhere. So that's why I thought I'll just add some glue dots to this one. Just on the 4 posts. There we go. We'll pop our little fence. Might put it down level with the bottom of the card, I think. Yeah, let's do that. This one is going to go up on dimensionals. So here's the easy one, because he's going to go on the top of the fence. So you'll notice that I'm using my Take Your Pick tool. I've got 2. I've got one that's got the putty end for picking stuff up and the spatula end. The other one, I've got the additional die brush and the pick tool, so that I can take the backings off the dimensionals and do all sorts of other things. Okay, so I'm just going to put him up there just because I can. And then this little one, I think they might all end up on dimensionals actually. I was going to do them flat, but I think they're better off on a dimensional, because then I can put them in front of the fence. And I don't have to chop my sheep that way. I can have them all on the card. Okay. There we go. So again, I'll just take the backing off. And I'll just put this one down the bottom. So he's just looking over the fence to say, what on earth are you doing? And I reckon this other one's already jumped over the fence, and it's like, well, I've jumped, I'm going. So let's go with that. There's our little sheep. Okay. So then all I need to do is remove it from my backing paper, which my Stampin' Seal is probably a little bit strong to be using as a removable adhesive, but it will work. It just needs a bit of encouragement to come off. So I'm just going to trim off my little clouds. Okay, so there's my little clouds. Still got a little bit of glue on them, obviously. So that's them. And I'll just put it onto my card base. Now I know a lot of people can't use the Tombow glue, and that's fine. You could use Stampin' Seal, you could just use glue dots. It's up to the individual, but today, just for the ease of trying to do it this afternoon, I decided I would use Tombow. Okay. And then I'm just going to, so it's a relatively simple card. I haven't layered it onto another layer. I've just literally done it straight onto my card base. Sorry, son. There we go. Let's just do that. So there is our cute little card. So just a reminder that these are using Sale-a-bration products from the second Sale-a-bration for the year. That is the August and September Sale-a-bration. So these products can be found in this catalogue here. So these are the ones that $90 spend. So as I said, the sheep have got some great dies. Let me just show you those and the stamp set for that. Move our little card. So the stamp set has got the 3 sheep, which have their own coordinating dies, and it also has You're Amazing, So Glad It's Your Birthday. It's got a little party hat and some grass, which we've used the grass today. Now the party hat has got a die cut, so I'll just take these out of the packet. So you've got your sun and the 2 clouds and the fence that I've used today. You've got a little flag. You've got a die cut for your little party hat and a little party balloon. So I think they're just such a cute set. As I said, it's $90 to get the stamp set for free and another $90 to get the dies. So that's a really good deal actually, because the die, a lot of the dies are usually $180 to get the die set. So that is a really, really good deal. Okay, so I just wanted to recap quickly on a couple of things. And while I'm facing this way, I'll just show you the card that we made yesterday. So that is our cute little penguin from the Penguin Place bundle, which has a punch to do our penguin, and a retired punch that we've had before with balloons actually cuts out the balloon. And then I've done this cute little box as well. So those are the 3 projects that I've created during my catalogue launch events. So hopefully you've been able to enjoy those. And these are the catalogues. So you've got the July to December mini catalogue and the August to September Sale-a-bration. And of course, for anyone ordering, this is the website for you to head to, is Wendy Hodkinson. Remember, no G, because I'm not a disease. And everyone laughs, but they remember how to spell it. So wendyhodkinson.stampinup.net. Again, no G in the Stampin' Up. The host code for this particular workshop, again, is UVQYNQJS. They are all capitals, okay? So I'll just switch you down. Hello, Kath. So good to see you. I'll just turn myself around. There I am. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming along and joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the cards and boxes that I've created during the catalogue launches. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever at any time, make sure to contact me. I'm only too happy to answer any questions. Hello, Jane. Good to see you on as well. Don't forget to go back onto my page and check out the previous 2 videos that I've done for my catalogue launches for this weekend. And I will be uploading them to YouTube and also sharing them on the event pages to make it easier for everyone. So yeah, don't forget, support your local demonstrators, particularly now we're all in lockdown. We'll have so much more time to craft. So you'll need more supplies, of course. You can never have too many craft supplies, can you? I don't think so. Anyway, Been great to be with you again today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.